Nashville's next mayor.
Attempts to identify all the victims of this Franklin soccer coach may come down to a matter of trust.
News Channel 5 mourns one of our own. Harold Crump was a visionary since the early days of this station and revolutionized the way news is reported.
News Channel 5 investigates why thousands of Nashvillians are sent to mental health facilities against their will and why the same people keep being sent back.
Keeping you safe, informed, connected. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
An exclusive News Channel 5 investigation into Tennessee's broken mental health system reveals cries for help that often go unanswered. Good evening, I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Hunter Hoagland. Even people who can afford to pay are often forced out of psychiatric hospitals. Investigative reporter Ben Hall obtained new data on what happens after people are involuntarily committed.
People are involuntarily committed in a psychiatric hospital when they are suicidal, deemed a threat to themselves or others. They are not criminals, but people in crisis, and our system is failing them.
All rise.
It happens every Wednesday and Friday inside the Davidson County Courthouse.
Can you explain to the court?
A judge hears from doctors and patients about whether to commit people to a psychiatric hospital.
We're seeing a lot more cases than I saw when I started.
Presiding Judge Melissa Blackburn was elected 9 years ago and says mental health cases have soared.
It's definitely a crisis. There's no question about that.
Since 2019, more than 23,000 people in Davidson County have been ordered by a judge into a psychiatric hospital against their will. It usually starts in an emergency room where people go when they're suicidal or in a mental health crisis. They then go to an available psychiatric hospital. A judge later decides how long they stay.
And then we make a determination based on what they say and what the doctor says as to what we feel is best for that patient's safety.
But judges started noticing they were seeing many of the same people over and over. Judge Blackburn's office put together this spreadsheet showing the county's repeat involuntary hospitalizations.
This system is broken. We've got to fix it.
The data showed over a recent 4-year period, numerous people committed 20 times or more. It also showed they often went to different psychiatric hospitals each time, and those hospitals were not communicating about the patient's history.
No one's checking. No one's paying any attention. No one's bothering to see where they've been or what they've been on or what the prior medication is. Hence them going from hospital to hospital to hospital.
Take Natalie, not her real name. She was hospitalized 39 different times and went to 5 different psychiatric hospitals.
If they would communicate, they could hopefully cut down dramatically on the number of times Natalie is being hospitalized.
39-year-old Patricia was hospitalized 26 different times. She's even been to jail 4 times. Blackburn says each hospital sent her home after just getting her out of immediate crisis.
She's home for a week, week and a half, and something happens again. She's readmitted through an emergency room at a different hospital, and we start over.
You cannot always get help unless you are a danger to yourself or others. That's stage 4 in any other medical condition.
Robin Nobling with Davidson County's National Alliance on Mental Illness says once someone gets out, there is not enough follow-up care.
They used to go to their homes and check on them. I remember case management would make sure that they were picking up their prescriptions.
She says if follow-up is done at all, it's done by phone.
We have a mental health system that says, call me when you're sick. We don't have a mental health system based in recovery.
The data also shows people who've been jailed multiple times. 41-year-old Cameron was jailed 24 times for low-level crimes. He also was committed 8 times at 4 different county hospitals. And 33-year-old Kane, jailed 7 times, but was committed 28 different times at 4 different hospitals.
There's no reason for that happening. Somebody is not bothering to take the time to figure out what's really wrong with him and to get him on the right medication.
Judge Blackburn is now telling doctors where a person has been treated before when they testify in committal cases. She's hoping to reverse the revolving door of committal and release by requiring more communication. Judge Blackburn says there is a desperate need for more psychiatric hospital beds that are fully staffed. We're going to stay on this issue, but the bottom line, we're seeing more and more severe cases, and experts say more needs to be done to help them.
Ben, thank you. By the way, the state says it's working to make mental health resources easier to access by adding new information to its MyTN app. That app includes information for the statewide crisis line and the Tennessee Red Line, which helps people who are battling either substance abuse or addiction. By the way, the MyTN app is free and it's available right now in your app store.
The search continues tonight for victims who may have been sexually assaulted by a Franklin soccer coach. He's accused of drugging and raping boys between the ages of 9 and 17 years old. But as News Channel 5's Olivia Michael explains, identifying and helping those victims comes with its challenges.
She is the voice of many in Nashville's Hispanic community. But Veronica Salcedo struggles to find words when it comes to a recent story. She says, as a mother and a woman, I thought it can't be true that this man did these things to children. The man is 63-year-old Camilo Hurtado Campos, accused of drugging and raping boys he coached in soccer. So far, 8 potential victims have come forward, but police believe there are more out there. She says many families might be afraid about their names coming to light and want to protect their children.
I think it's easy to start trusting a person that looks like you, that speak your language, or at least the language of your parents.
Diana Perez with Conexión Américas says there are several concerns that could keep victims and their families from coming forward.
You think about language barriers, you think about your immigration status, how anything that you could say could harm your family or yourself.
That's one reason the Sexual Assault Center created a Hispanic client services team.
Which is why getting the information out that resources do exist and helping people understand that immigration status is not taken into consideration when you are a victim of sexual assault.
Now Salcedo is encouraging victims to use their own voices. She says we need to fight. We have a big job to protect our children.
Tenemos que luchar. Tenemos un gran trabajo para defender a nuestros niños.
Olivia Michael, News Channel 5.
And in an interview with Homeland Security, Campos admitted that he is in the U.S. illegally. If you or someone you know may have been a victim, police encourage you to come forward. We have the number for Franklin Police along with resources for sexual assault survivors. That's on our website, newschannel5.com. An emotional Ann Jordan sitting before a judge for the first time today after being charged with 6 counts of child neglect. Police say she was operating an illegal daycare out of her Bellevue apartment where a 3-month-old was found dead. You'll remember parents showed up back on April 10th to pick their kids up, but Jordan was nowhere to be found. Police say 7 babies were left there all alone. Jordan was later found by hikers miles away at Harpeth River State Park, where police say she tried killing herself.
She stated that, if I recall correctly, that she quote-unquote broke, and she decided that because this child can no longer be alive, that she felt that she can no longer be alive, and that she decided that she needed to leave the location to harm herself.
The Metro detective who you just heard from says an autopsy was done on that little baby's body, but the medical examiner was not able to determine an official cause of death. The case now heads to a grand jury.
Well, an effort to crack down on violent crashes across Murfreesboro and save lives appears to be working. And recently, police officers and troopers with the THP, they stationed in areas between New Salem Highway and Cason Lane. Those roads have seen a spike in injury crashes. Officers focused on 4 main intersections nearby and found lots of drivers breaking the law. They've issued dozens of traffic citations, most for speeding and folks not wearing their seatbelts. We're told 15 drivers got tickets for violating the hands-free law. Remember, in Tennessee, it's illegal and dangerously distracting to hold your phone while driving. Use a speaker option if you must so you can better focus on the road ahead. Well, there's another stretch of roadway here in the mid-state that seems to see a lot of problems. Traffic and accidents. That's I-24 northeast of Nashville. That stretch, it runs along the Robertson and Cheatham County lines. Traffic, a mess again up there today because of a multi-vehicle crash. First responders forced to close the westbound lanes for about an hour and a half today. That was just past the Maxey Road exit. The road is back open at this hour.
We are saying goodbye to a man who played a vital role in the history of our station. Harold Crump ushered in a new era of broadcasting for Nashville and even gave us our name, WTVF. Crump has just died at the age of 91. News Channel 5's Forrest Sanders talked with a journalism legend about Crump's impact on the city of Nashville.
Going into the News Channel 5 archive, a folder can't even begin to cover the story of someone like Harold Crump. But in here, you can get a few highlights of why he was so important to Nashville. Perhaps one of the best people to share Harold's story is someone who knew him well. A voice you'll find familiar.
Harold was the heart and soul and face of Channel 5 for years.
Longtime News Channel 5 anchor Chris Clark.
He was, in my way of thinking, a real pioneer.
Harold started at 5 in 1956 as a local account executive. By the early 70s, he was station manager, while Chris was both anchor and news director. News was a different world then.
The 6 o'clock news didn't have any visuals that happened after 4 p.m. because you had to process the film and edit it.
Harold had what was at the time a very bold idea. He wanted his station to break out of whole broadcasts contained to news studios and report from the field live.
That was a totally foreign concept. It was like he was speaking a foreign language. Harold understood the language. He wrote the language. Who would think of something like that? Harold would.
You will see the strength of news reach far beyond your own walls.
A lot of people thought, what a gimmick. What a gimmick. It's not a gimmick. It's the standard for the world now. It came across with the one camera that worked, made in Japan, got it for Channel 5, and Channel 5 became the first local station to broadcast live. This was a revolutionary moment.
The next years brought amazing memories for Harold and Chris. There was meeting Charlton Heston.
And I was standing next to Oprah, and he walked in, and Oprah grabbed my arm and said, "Oh my God, Moses has come."
But nothing could have been more important to Harold than this. Harold had a good friend whose son had muscular dystrophy. Harold wanted his station to help people with the disease.
All of our phones are busy. Keep them going. This is a great way to start off our telethon this year.
Chris started hosting local cut-ins to the National Muscular Dystrophy Association telethons. They caught the attention of Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis came down because Nashville became such a big market. We had a first $1 million telethon, and that was a real rush for me. It all just came together under Harold's direction. He's kept in the background and like directing a great orchestra.
Harold left News Channel 5 in 1981. Muscular dystrophy remained an important cause for Chris as he volunteered at MDA summer camp.
They were so sweet. And I knew what their future was going to be. And I had to help. And Harold felt the same way. And to this day, it just touches me in a way that nothing else has. They were just great kids. They were my kids, too.
Harold last paid us a visit about a year ago.
You changed it to WTVF. Mm-hmm. And why did you do that?
Because I thought that would be a good way to promote it, Television 5.
TV5.
With Harold's death, Chris tells us his friend leaves a legacy of both pushing a business forward and helping others.
He was the man who put Channel 5 on the map as far as I'm concerned and made it the institution that it is today.
I'm Forrest Sanders, News Channel 5.
Two incredible guys right there, Forrest. Thank you. Crump also produced many syndicated shows, including Candid Camera and Hee Haw.
Yeah, he went on to serve, by the way, on Muscular Dystrophy's National Board of Directors. Had the honor of meeting him a few times over the years. A class act, an innovator, and we stand on his shoulders now.
Just an incredible legacy. I know you're thankful for it, I'm thankful for it, and just people who come after us as well. We'll be right back.
On the day, a mid-state couple lost one of their twin boys during an emergency delivery. The new mom also lost an important piece of jewelry, her engagement ring. News Channel 5's Kelsey Gibbs talked with the couple. They're desperate to find it.
We have no idea. The wedding band was actually found in his backpack a couple days later. None of my other jewelry. We have checked with every security, every parking lot we landed in.
Travis and Kristen O'Neill were pregnant and expecting twin boys, Oliver and Lincoln, but quickly learned the boys had a rare condition inside the womb. At 20 weeks, they learned Oliver passed away. By 30 weeks, Kristen went into labor at Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
In the midst of that, I had to take off all my jewelry. I had earrings, my wedding band, and my engagement ring. Handed them to my husband, who put them into some bag in the middle of the chaos, and we were rushed back, and that was the last time we saw it.
The family bounced from room to room between the main hospital and Children's. That was back in May, and the couple still can't find the engagement ring.
Just even the memory attached to the experience of getting engaged, just really special to us and our faith journey. And then knowing that it was lost on the day that we had to birth our twins. I don't know, getting it returned is just a special thing for us.
They even made a post on Facebook asking people for help. And in one day, it was shared more than 150 times.
We were like, you know, the Lord has done more for us than we can ever dream. And recovering this ring was like a little God wink for us if it was possible, and if not, that's okay too, because getting our son's story and his faithfulness out there is really key for us.
The youth pastors are now holding on to their faith that the ring will be found soon.
You know, if God can do that, our ring is so small for God to provide, and so we know that goodness is going to come out of this no matter what.
In Nashville, Kelsey Gibbs, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Kelsey. Staff at Vanderbilt said they are aware of this lost ring and they are trying to help.
All right, a heads up for neighbors who live in Spring Hill. You may notice several helicopters flying around on Sunday. No need to be concerned. The city says those choppers will help out with construction over at the new Ultium Cells facility. That plant, which is set to produce battery cells for electric cars, will employ about 1,700 people in Murray County once it's finished. Who will be Nashville's next mayor?
A lot of candidates on the ballot, and voters will begin casting those ballots this Friday. Remember, if no candidate receives more than half the vote, the top two will then head to a runoff election in September.
News Channel 5's Chris Davis tells us if anyone is starting to pull ahead in those polls.
It's a sure sign that Election Day is right around the corner.
This is the no-sleep portion of the campaign.
And a new independent poll may give us a clue who's garnering more attention. 20% of voters support Freddie O'Connell, 15% say they want Matt Wilshire to be mayor, and then there's Alice Rowley clocking in at 13%. But if there was a candidate named undecided, they would be the winner. 26% of Nashvillians say they're still narrowing it down.
That's a big number.
Nashville Banner editor Steve Cavendish cautions, with that many people uncommitted, it's really anybody's to win.
I've talked to experienced people, high information voters, people that live this stuff, who have not made up their mind for who they're going to vote for.
But with Alice Rowley being the only conservative in the race, he thinks she has a solid chance.
She's out there on the right all by herself, and I think she could absolutely be in the runoff.
Cavendish is also looking at fundraising reports.
Matt Wilshire has consistently raised more money than anybody else. He's a very good fundraiser.
Behind Wilshire at $500,000 raised in the second quarter is Jeff Yarborough and Heidi Campbell, who both hauled in more than $300,000.
If people are willing to write a check for you, they're usually willing to tell people about you.
With that many different names in contention, Cavendish says it's a clear sign it could be a razor-tight race.
It may be late into the night before we have an idea of who the two candidates are in the runoff in September.
Chris Davis, News Channel 5.
All right, thank you, Chris. Early voting starts Friday morning, and if you'd like to check out a list of locations and hours of operations, we have them posted for you on newschannel5.com. And with a closer look at how the race stands now and what we can expect as we move closer to Election Day, be watching for Open Line tomorrow night. I'll be talking with Cassandra Stevenson, a Metro government reporter from the Tennessean, and get her take on the upcoming vote. You can join the conversation tomorrow night at 7 on News Channel 5+.
Every student is different, and the Tennessee Department of Education is making strides in improving learning experiences for kids who might need a little extra help. It's called Tennessee Pulse. It's a database that will serve as the state's system of keeping records of learning plans like IEPs and 504 plans for students with disabilities. Leaders say this new system will make managing these individual plans a lot easier for our educators. All right, bearer of bad news here. The beginning of next School year is just weeks away in the Clarksville-Montgomery County school system. They are now looking to fill several open positions. Next Tuesday, July 18th, the district will host a job fair at Fort Campbell. Even if you aren't military, you are welcome to join. Just be sure to enter through Gate 4 Visitor Center. That fair runs from 10 to 2 at the Spouse Employment Center on Post. A variety of jobs are all available, including bus drivers, substitutes, and teachers. The first day back for CMCSS is August 7th. Womp womp, right? It's coming up.
It's approaching.
Some start the 31st of this month. My boys start Tuesday, August 1st.
It's coming.
I know, which is even more reason we got to get some dry weekends in because they are like bouncing off the dang walls.
Not only is the humidity back, but now we have to worry about some
storms.
Great.
Yes. So on and off, starting tomorrow, really persisting through Monday. And the number one thing to know from this is that it's not just a summer pattern, right? Where the heat, the humidity work together to create afternoon showers and storms. There are more ingredients in play, and they are relentless in how many times they're going to show up, which means we will have around-the-clock rain chances. I'm such a fan of sky cams when bugs fly by. Did you see that wasp just scoot up to the north? I love it. I wonder if they notice when the camera moves around, if they're like, what's going on in there? So hopefully you were able to enjoy the day. It was a very hot, humid day. Temperatures in the 90s, heat indices were well into the triple digits. And a reminder to you what the heat index is. The heat index represents what the heat and the humidity combined, the stress that puts on your body. It's only relative to human beings. It's only relative to you and me. And it just means you've got to be proactive about prioritizing shade, cold air breaks, staying hydrated, because this heat will wear you down. We are starting to see our first chance at rain. Now, it's not much. That's why I said the better opportunities start tomorrow. But we do have a couple little pinprick showers that are drifting through portions of Perry County, Lewis County. Wayne, you've got a couple showers. You're likely seeing it off in the distance if it's not on your house. Murray County, too. We've got all of three showers there. This is coming out of the northwest. You see how it almost looks like a little popcorn field of clouds comes out of the Missouri area? This is why we're going to stay on and off active, because when the upper levels are coming out of the northwest in the summer months, it tends to create around the clock on and off rain chances for us. Impulse number one created the clouds and pinprick showers we have now. We back it up. Look, there's another one. There's a sibling up in northern Missouri that has intensified just in the last few hours. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings with that. Well, more are going to roll down the pipeline Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even into Monday. So while there will be dry pockets, just like today, there's also going to be some deeply unsettled pockets. Here's what this looks like visually. You see that activity dropping down, blossoming in portions of Missouri, but I expect most of that to fall apart on approach. You will likely have some daybreak showers around on Thursday, not everybody getting wet, but that'll be the first real chance to run into more widespread rain. Friday, Saturday looking to be the soggiest of the next 5 and quite steamy as we head towards next week. More coming up. Hunter?
All right, Bree, thanks. Bringing live music back to a venue that's getting some much needed TLC.
Looking forward to this. Straight ahead, the improvements being made at Cannery Hall and when crews will wrap up.
It is a space that helps give Music City its name.
Tonight, we're getting our first look at the progress being made over at the Cannery Hall complex near the Gulch. The building's 140 years old. It was home to Mercy Lounge as well. Look at the major renovations. They're getting new lighting, sound systems, brand new restrooms, new food and drink options. We're told the renovated Cannery Hall will start hosting live music events again late this year. What a venue, can't wait to see.
I was going to say those smaller venues are where it's at. It's more intimate and something like that. It's going to sell out.
Can't wait.
Love it.
Well, we can't wait for News Channel 5 at 6:30. Ahead, flyers found around Columbia, sadly depicting hate, actually recruiting members for the KKK.
How the community is now coming together to show that hate will not be tolerated. And what surveillance video now shows about those suspects. We'll have more coming up at 6:30.
People in Columbia coming together to stand up against hate. This after someone spread offensive flyers around town, recruiting people to join the Ku Klux Klan.
Several African-American churches had this flyer glued to their marquee, and now police need your help finding the people responsible. Aaron Cantrell has the story.
It makes it even more sickening that people actually think they can still scare you.
Pastor Kenny Anderson of Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church,
you can see it's sticking out, and it rained.
Still can't believe his church, Bethel Chapel AME Church and Faith United Missionary Baptist Church, all received this KKK recruitment flyer.
It made me mad because it's just senseless and it's hateful.
The hateful act may not have been caught by the church's cameras, but it was by Abe Everett, the owner of Muletown Pizza.
I don't know specifically why they would target us. We serve everyone.
In the video, you see the suspect run to his food truck and place the flyer. At one point, double checking, making sure it was completely glued on. A similar substance was also used at all three churches. You can still see remnants of that KKK flyer on the marquee of Bethel Chapel AME Church, and law enforcement, they want to find whoever is responsible for it.
I hope the person that did this recognize it is a hate crime, and I hope that our police officials all see it that way and not try to fix it where it's some kind of prankster, some kind of jokester.
Everett doesn't know why someone would want to spread hate in his town and believes people should do better.
We're all equal in the eyes of the Lord. This is not representative of our community.
Pastor Anderson agrees.
I don't see it as a practical joke or a kid having fun. No, they need to know this kind of fun will get you a sentence saying hate crime.
Anderson is grateful to see the community come together to denounce these hate-filled flyers.
Together, we can move mountains, and together, love always conquers hate.
In Columbia, Aaron Cantrell, News Channel 5.
Church leaders from all across Columbia coming together tonight for a unity prayer to promote peace. The suspect or suspects in this case, if caught, will likely face charges. So if you may have recognized them, please call the Columbia Police Department.
A medical clinic outside Memphis is now on tight security after police say a patient shot and killed an orthopedic surgeon inside an exam room. Cell phone video obtained by the CBS affiliate there details a nerve-wracking scene. Heavily armed police frantically searching the facility for the gunman yesterday. Officers said they located an armed suspect outside that clinic following a 5-minute search where they later arrested him. Investigators believe the suspect was a patient and had been at that clinic for several hours before the shooting.
Did he have a big gun or a pistol? It was a pistol.
Doctor down 2 rounds, looks like to the chest.
This appears to be a one-on-one interaction that occurred in an exam room.
And the victim is now identified as Dr. Benjamin Mwak. He was a surgeon who specialized in hand, elbow, and wrist surgery. Last month, he was recognized as a top-ranking doctor in Memphis Magazine.
Look at this video from a National Guard helicopter giving us an overhead view of the widespread flooding damage in Vermont's capital city of Montpelier. Officials said river levels at a dam just upstream appeared to be stable. The storm is said to have dumped up to 2 months of rain in just 2 days. It has impacted many other parts of the Northeast. Still, only 1 death reported.
President Biden capping the 2-day NATO summit out in Lithuania by emphasizing the military alliance's united front and rallying around Ukraine. During a one-on-one meeting with the country's President Volodymyr Zelensky, President Biden made clear that Ukraine's future lies in NATO. It's just unclear when that'll happen. Member countries say they are also committed to a pathway for Ukraine's entrance into that alliance, with Zelensky considering that a success. That despite, though, expressing earlier frustration over the timeline.
At the end of the summit we had, I think, this council and great success and security guarantees, as you said.
It's going to happen. You're all moving in the right direction. I think it's just a matter of getting by the next few months.
With Russia's war on Ukraine still underway, allies say now is not the time, since it would draw NATO countries into direct conflict. They also want Ukraine to meet certain conditions, including fighting corruption. President Biden now heads to NATO's newest member country, Finland, to meet with the leaders there.
Well, some good economic news. A new report released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows inflation has eased to the lowest level now in more than 2 years. Now, a trip to the grocery store is still expensive, but prices in June ticking down from the previous month, with eggs and milk seeing significant declines. That helped get overall inflation down to 3% last month. Again, the lowest level in more than 2 years. It's way down from the 9.1% we saw last year. Prices at the pump also down more than a full $1 in the past year, according to AAA.
We are looking to see that inflation rate come down to closer to 2%. That's where it was before the pandemic began.
Now, last month, the Fed hit pause on another potential rate hike, but it's expected to change when the board meets later this month. The Fed says it will continue to raise rates if needed until inflation gets down to the 2% level.
According to U.S. hiring trends, it's actually getting harder for many Americans to find work. A recent LinkedIn survey found there is one open job for every 2 applicants. While the U.S. job market remains competitive, the social media site indicates there are some remote positions that still remain in professional services, IT media, and more. But new employees may need to learn artificial intelligence skills, including how to use ChatGPT.
One is that people are staying in their jobs a lot longer. So there's internal mobility happening. And I think also that they're seeing the headlines and thinking, you know, I'm going to stay put.
Right.
The other thing is that there's multiple people applying for jobs, more and probably jobs that they shouldn't be applying for.
And Fisher says more than 20% of companies no longer require a candidate to have a 4-year college degree, but care more about skills-based learning, meaning looking for a person who can actually do the job instead of their education.
All right, still ahead here at 6:30, a look at the potential impact of Florida's new immigration law.
Hear from a woman who says she was fired without any explanation the morning it became active, and how it's impacting thousands in South Florida and beyond.
The heat is here, the humidity's here. Now storms look to settle back in as we head towards the weekend. There'll be dry pockets as well. I'll help you navigate it next.
A new Florida law that cracks down on illegal immigration. It's causing a stir among many since it went into effect earlier this month. Already, the legislation may be causing an exodus of undocumented immigrants from the Sunshine State. Some business owners say they're now seeing labor shortages.
Axel Turkios traveled to South Florida, where concerns are now growing over that new law and its potential impact on the state's economy.
In Florida, the sun is not coming out for everyone.
Yo soy la cabeza de mi familia. Yo soy la que trabaja duro para mandar dinero para mi país.
This woman says she was fired from her job at a restaurant because she's undocumented.
Ese día, como un día normal, fui a trabajar. Ella me llamó, tiene que platicar conmigo y sin ninguna excusa, él me despidió.
She was let go the same day Florida as a new immigration law went into effect. One championed by state governor and now presidential candidate Ron DeSantis.
We are going to penalize sanctuary jurisdictions.
Fearing retaliation, the woman asked us to hide her identity.
¿Te dieron alguna razón cuando te despidieron?
Yo le dije que por qué me estaba despidiendo si tenía una explicación para darme. Él me dijo que no tenía una explicación, simplemente que recogiera mis cosas y ya.
Reached by phone, a manager at the restaurant told us he couldn't comment on the woman's dismissal. The law is causing outrage and fear among some in the state.
Our politicians were very effective in creating fear and distrust.
Florida's agriculture, construction, and hospitality industries are starting to see labor shortages as undocumented workers flee the state.
¿Cuán notable ha sido el impacto que ha tenido esta ley a pocos días de haber entrado en vigor?
A empleados que han tenido 8, 10 años, 15 años de laborar en la construcción, en la hotelería, y están siendo despedidos.
It hasn't even been 2 weeks, and we're already hearing of farm workers who left the state and are afraid of coming back.
Nos ponían que se iban con núcleos familiares hasta de 5 personas.
Immigration advocate Juan Flores says his nonprofit organization traveled throughout Florida to survey 500 undocumented workers. They found 4 out of 10 surveyed said they were leaving the state.
Se ha ido un grupo para Atlanta, Georgia, otros se han ido para Carolina del Norte, algunos han llegado a Nueva York.
The owner of this nursery in Homestead, 30 miles southwest of Miami, tells me she lost up to 50% of her employees. People she needs to help her maintain the plants, cut the grass, and assist clients.
La hierba va para arriba, la mata quiere abono, quiere cuidado y yo sola no voy a poder. Puedo perder esto.
A decade-old family business that used to employ up to 10 people is now threatened.
Hoy me quedé sola, hoy no llegó nadie. Y tengo miedo, ¿verdad? Porque digo, ¿cómo voy a sacar esto adelante? Y dije, bueno, voy a hacer lo poco que yo pueda, pues no me queda otra.
The Florida Policy Institute, a public policy think tank, says without undocumented workers, some of Florida's most labor-intensive industries would lose 10% of their workforce.
Esto va a impactar al consumidor, no solo en el estado de la Florida, sino que en todo Estados Unidos, porque ya no hay mano de obra, y al no haber mano de obra se va a incrementar el producto.
Juan, ¿qué sigue ahora?
Seguir haciendo visible la importancia del migrante en los Estados Unidos, ir a Washington para pedir protección para los inmigrantes mediante una reforma migratoria.
As for this woman, she says she isn't letting go of her American dream.
¿Cuál es tu sueño?
Mi sueño es tener mi propio restaurante.
Axel Turcius, Scripps News, Miami.
Coming up, Nashville SC getting set for another big game at the Castle, and a former Titans star takes a huge leap of faith. Details coming up in sports. You're watching News Channel 5 at 6:30.
As expected, we knew the heat would build, right? We knew Monday wasn't going to last forever. And now that the heat is here, the humidity has been building throughout the day today. All we need is something to try to squeeze that moisture out. And we will see more of that, quite a bit of it actually, as we head into the next couple days. For now, it's beautiful outside, deceptively pretty because it is hot. Showers and storms will start to use some of this heat and some of the humidity as we head into the next few days, but there will be a lot of dry pockets like this as well. I continue to get an onslaught of folks with Beyonce tickets on Saturday saying, Specifically, I got a tweet that said, the Beehive does not handle this the way the Swifties handled Taylor's conundrum last spring, so we need dry weather. Here's the best thing I can tell you is that there will be dry pockets, but there's also going to be a lot of unsettled pockets as well. I do not expect widespread severe weather, but lightning will be a concern for outdoor activities, and with that, there will be some gusty wind at times. So no, don't cancel your plans, but prepare to be a little rain flexible. You may get a little waterlogged as you head towards that show Saturday night. Have our Storm Shield app. That way, if a warning is issued, you'll know. You can take it with you. Right now, we're quiet across the area except for our southwestern tier, which continues to have a handful of tiny little showers. There isn't even a lightning strike with these, and they are compact. But with so much moisture in the air, they're efficient rainmakers. So while these things are tiny, they are the definition of tiny but mighty. And they came to us from the northwest, and the northwest is where everything is going to come from over the next few days. That first little batch of cloud cover, a little bit of energy that came in to kick up those pinprick showers, well, it's got a sibling that's right along the Missouri area, right near St. Louis. This cluster of storms is expected to blossom, and then another one is expected to form behind that one. And as we head towards Friday, another one forms, and a Saturday, another one forms. So it is a relentlessly active period that is just going to keep us unsettled. It is not going to rain sun up to sundown any day over the next 5 days, but you are not going to make it through the next 5 days without getting rained on at least a couple times. Here's what this looks like. So I showed you those storms up in Missouri. That first batch is expected to die off, but a second one will form closer to Springfield, closer to southwest Missouri. That will set the stage for a cloudy start to your Thursday and a chance for some showers. And like I said, once the rain door opens, it doesn't shut. We stay unsettled with the most widespread rain, John, expected both Friday and Saturday. We'll start to pull back those rain chances a little bit as we head towards the first part of next week.
Well, we do know this, Bree. It's a lovely night for a soccer night here in Music City. Nashville SC will look to bounce back from Saturday's loss at Chicago when they host Philadelphia Union at Geodis Park. These two teams certainly no stranger to one another, and as usual, both teams have plenty to play for tonight.
We're both coming off the back of a loss. I'm sure they'll be just as keen as we are to try and get back in, positive territory. And we're, of course, really tight in the league again.
It's a good challenge for us. We need to take the 3 points, and we lose in Chicago, and I think it's going to be a good game.
30. We are 13 days away from the start of Titans training camp, and at the tender and noble age of 26, veteran Nick Westbrook-Akine enters the 2023 season as the most tenured member of the Tennessee Titans wide receiving corps. NWI has 41 career catches and 4 touchdowns in 3 seasons in two-tone blue. And this season, he says he plans to display more leadership to the younger wideouts as well as newcomers like free agent pickup Chris Moore.
It's not a ton different. I was kind of the old man last year too, how I ended up. But yeah, just trying to step up, be a resource for the young guys who are coming in, trying to learn a whole new offense. And the guys like Kyle and Trey who just learned one and then now got to switch over. So trying to be that guy that people can rely on.
Former Titan Cortland Finnegan had himself an eventful Wednesday. The retired former Pro Bowl defensive back took part in a tandem jump with the Army Golden Knights parachute team. Just moments after landing, Finnegan called in to WNSR Sports Radio to talk about it with yours truly and Greg Pogue.
The instructor from the Golden Knights, first of all, class act organization, military, that in and of itself is incredible. But when you add the fact of the guy that I jumped with, he had 3,100 jumps, so 31 and 30. I said, this is meant to be. And so it was just absolutely serene. I tell everyone they need to at least try it one time.
Did you call or text your BFF, Andre Johnson, after you landed or no?
No. My instructor is he loves the Texans, so I said this is a match made in heaven, really.
Had to ask, didn't I? Around the league, the NFL making it official on Wednesday. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets will be featured later this summer on HBO's Hard Knocks series. Quite a moment at last night's MLB All-Star game with a couple of Nashville boys facing one another. Smyrna's Sonny Gray wound up getting the better of Overton's Mookie Betts, striking him out to end the top of the 3rd inning.
Facing Mookie, we've been talking the last 2 or 3 days because I knew I was throwing the 3rd, and I knew he was kind of batting around there. So then obviously he came up, and I was like, "Here we go, Mookie." So no, that was cool.
Across the pond at Wimbledon, American Christopher Eubanks' dream run came to an end today in the quarterfinals with a 5-set loss to 3rd seed Daniil Medvedev. Eubanks took the first 2 sets but lost in a tiebreaker in the 4th. Medvedev dominated the 5th set, winning 6-1. Meanwhile, fellow American Madison Keys, no match for women's 2-seed Arina Sabalenka, losing in straight sets 6-2, 6-2. Sabalenka will face Ons Jabeur now in the semifinals. Time for the play of the day, sponsored by Shell Brothers Home Builders. Back to last night's All-Star game. National League down a run in the 8th. The Rockies' Elias Diaz with a 2-run blast, which proved to be the game winner as the NL beat the AL in the Midsummer Classic for the first time since 2012. Diaz went on to take home MVP honors. That'll do it for sports. More News Channel 5 at 6:30 coming up after this.
NASA's James Webb Space Telescope marking a major milestone. This newly released swirling, colorful close-up shows a star-forming region about 390 light years away. It's actually the closest one to Earth. This is not fake, it's real image. Every new image from Webb is a new discovery, NASA says. In its first year of operation, it has looked deeper into space and further back in time than ever before. NASA says the telescope has enough fuel to operate for at least 20 years, so more is coming.
Looked like a painting.
I know, it's really pretty.
Yeah, it was
the
gorgeous.
colors were beautiful.
Yeah.
It's wild. Wild. We're just little specks. Little specks.
Great.
All right, little specks that are going to deal with some rain over the next couple days and the humidity. Woo! It's going to be thick. Get ready for it. We'll have more tonight at 10.
All right, Bree, thanks.
Come on down. Price is Right in prime time's next. See you at 10.